Hey guys, Banana Luck here. Welcome back to another Water Realms video. So we did get the weekends banner popping up right after reset. And it's pretty obvious that it was coming because of Beelzebub's shut assembly for his artifact. So that's nice. We get a free artifact of this and it seems pretty decent as well. 20% attack increase, and guarantees a crit hit whenever enemies are damaged by putrid flies within 5 seconds, and deals 30% increased damage to them. So I think it's a pretty alright artifact. He is gonna be pretty strong in some areas, especially given that we don't have many inspiration units, and he has a more usual, 4x3 tile range when you compare it to something like Dolores or Constance, for example. So it'll be interesting to see how he fares, but we're going to take a closer look at his skill kit today. So it's paired with Zilitu, which is going to be amazing, especially if you don't have Zilitu already, because this is probably going to be a better banner compared to what's running at the moment, which is the Yuri Artemis one. Both of these units are going to be really strong in their respective areas. So Beelzebub, talent, damage dealt by the hero and putrid flies, inflicts slow on the target. So the slow is 50% if I'm not wrong, and it lasts for 2 seconds, and the putrid flies inherits the hero's stats, roaming within his basic attack range, which is a 5x3 tile range, and deals 100% damage to 5 enemies with basic attack. So given how low his base stats is, it's not going to be crazy in terms of damage. But you can understand why they didn't make his damage too high, because he is an inspiration unit after all. And basic attack, 100% AoE damage to 5 enemy targets. And you can see here, instead of getting damage upgrades, he actually gets rage regen upgrades instead. So that's going to be 20 rage regen per attack, which increases from 10 to 30. And then first passive, during the ultimate, the hero and putrid flies releases Plague of Ruin one time every 5 seconds. This goes down to a 3-second cooldown, dealing 150% AoE damage up to 10 targets at max level, and also dealing 10% magic damage vulnerability to them. And this potentially could be 100% uptime every time his ultimate is up, because 3-second cooldown, and the magic vulnerability also lasts for 3 seconds. And then after that, last passive, which is the inspiration bit. During the ultimate, applies 50% inspiration to allies in the hero's skill range and reduces the attack interval of allied summons adjacent to the putrid flies by 30% at max level. This is the part that I'm probably most interested in, just to see how this guy fares with, units like Anora, for example. So we know Anora is immune to buffs, but would this passive actually work for her? Definitely the inspiration is not going to apply, but will the summon attack interval reduction be applied instead? And then ultimate summons putrid flies, and the putrid flies generate a powerful vortex that pulls up to 10 nearby enemies towards the center with 2x strength, and inflicts slow on them, and the vortex lasts for max level at 11 seconds. It's still okay, it's a stronger slow, 75%, and there's also that vortex that's going on. And the duration, let's see, 11 seconds. Skill cost 900 is pretty average, not too high, not too low. I can see that with this, they are already trying to make him recover a lot more rage than the other conventional units that you think of, and it's sort of like a hybrid as well. This guy deals both DPS as well as, giving inspiration. And then Awakenings, vulnerability increases to 20%, so that's 10% extra. And then flat attack increase, always going to be nice for a unit that offers inspiration. And then A3, which is where most people are gunning him for. When basic attack deals damage to the target, restores 2% rage. So this is going to give him crazy uptime in terms of ultimate. Potentially it could match something like let's say Constance probably is the worst. Dolores fares quite well behind because of that talent. So probably going to be Dolores, Beelzebub, and Constance in terms of ultimate uptime. But they'll probably need some testing for people to actually see if that's the case. A4 is extra cost reduction, just in case you guys didn't notice, this guy has 10 costs already. So I would think that the A4 is probably more for like arena context, where you need to get him out sooner. But at the moment, units like Beelzebub probably don't have an area to shine in because of the Ingrid meta in AoE Arena. So yeah, not sure how useful that is. A5, if target receives 2 instances of Plague of Ruin within 3 seconds, they will take 1 additional instance of true damage equals to 100% of the hero's attack. So true damage is always going to be nice on a unit like this where their, attack isn't too crazy. But I'm not sure how well the stacks will go, because you did see over here during the ultimate hero and the putrid flies releases Plague of Ruin 1 time every 3 seconds. So not sure if the hero and the putrid flies releases them separately. If it does, then it will mean that this true damage always comes true. But these are the kind of things that will probably need testing to see whether it works out. So A3 looks like the best awakening so far, just for uptime. And yeah, I think it will need some testing to see whether Beelzebub can be better than other units in terms of like Guild Boss 1 or Guild Boss 2, for example. This guy isn't too tanky as well, so a bit debatable whether he's gonna be worthwhile in like Guild Boss 2, Samurai I mean. But for Guild Boss 1, for Drake's Chasm, definitely this guy will work really well there, if let's say he can offer much better inspiration. And then we have the other units, Zilitu. Don't really need to mention much about her. If you've been in the game long enough, this was the first ever banner that we actually got. It was Zilitu, Salazar, and Zealous. And she's an amazing unit for Guild Boss 1. Guild Boss 2 still possible if you have a Sokoden Steam. And also one of the better units, more well-rounded in terms of, early game progression. Pulling her that early for me really ramped up campaign progression, because she attacks both air and ground. She's single target, no AoE capabilities, but she does deal quite a bit of damage, especially when you see in the ultimate. When triggered, deals 380% extra damage at max level. And also the fact that, she has this true damage capability on her first hit. 60% extra true damage when the target's HP is higher than 80%. So she's a good unit all around. My concern with pulling on this banner will probably be the fact that I already have her at A3, which is her best awakening. A4 is extra rage regen, which you don't really need. A5 is some HP regeneration, which you also don't really need, but A2, crit damage, always nice. A3, the extra duration comes in really handy for Guild Boss. So yeah, hopefully you're in a state where you don't have her already yet, or maybe you're A1 or A2, then you need the extra copy, and possibly also pull Beelzebub along the way. So yeah, that's the banner. Probably need some testing to see whether Beelzebub is going to replace anyone, but with that 5 times 3 tile range, is already going to have a lot better potential in terms of versatility versus having to work around, Dolores and Constance awkward range. So yeah, that's gonna be for the video. Let me know if you're gonna summon for them. Probably not for me. I did waste all my summons on Yuri and still not get her, so yeah, probably gonna be a bit tough to try to pull through for this. I'll probably save for the next banner, which is rumored to be the Boreas, Ares, and Lucius banner, which is a 2x 15x banner, so gonna have much better odds there. I don't think 15x has been treating us really well here. So that's gonna be it for the video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like or subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.